How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into 14P, Thoughts from 14P. Today I am talking about start-sit quarterbacks for Week 11. There are some interesting plays, and there's some interesting guys who maybe you want to put on your bench this week. So we're going to jump right in. But before we do, I want to remind all of our viewers and listeners that we have a jersey giveaway happening right now, a signed DeAndre Swift jersey and a signed Lamar Jackson jersey. So all you need to do is subscribe to the channel where you're watching this video, 14 Personnel, and send a screenshot that you are subscribed to at 14P_fantasy on Twitter. If you can message us, I don't think you can, but if you can message us on YouTube or leave a comment with an image, feel free to do that below if you don't have a Twitter. Or you can always DM me on Twitter at Marco_14P as well if you have any questions. All right, guys, let's jump into it. Let's talk quarterbacks. So my first start for this week is Tua Tagovailoa. He is a start for this week, and he's got a nice schedule for the next couple. He plays the New York Jets, and the New York Jets are really just an awful defense across the board. Against fantasy quarterbacks, they rank 10th in the league. So that's not the bottom 5, but bottom 10 is good enough, and I think they're actually getting worse somehow. And so I think Tua coming back fully healthy, hopefully, he could find the end zone on the ground. He could find the end zone through the air in this one. Right now, there's probably 6-7 quarterbacks that I put ahead of him, but that's it. And it's kind of like your typical studs. I think when you look at the streamer quarterback, Tua is probably at the very top of my list. There's one other guy who's kind of close, but I like Tua even more than him. And we're going to talk about him in just a minute. But I think Tua could be a top 10 quarterback in Week 11. All right, moving on to my next quarterback on the list, and that is Jalen Hurts versus the New Orleans Saints. I am actually saying to sit Jalen Hurts. And fantasy is weird, and this one could come back to bite me, but I think Jalen Hurts has been a huge he's benefited hugely from the fact of what he's been able to do on the ground. You know, as a rusher, he's averaging around 55 yards a game in the past couple games, or past 4 games, I believe. And this defense for the New Orleans Saints has stopped mobile quarterbacks. They've stopped the run quite well. And they've actually started to look a little bit better in the passing game. So I know if you're on Yahoo or Sleeper, you see that green for Devonta Smith, or you see that green for any of the pass catchers here for the Eagles, but I don't know if it's as nice of a matchup as you're thinking. And so Jalen Hurts, who's been a little bit inconsistent passing the ball, I think he's a guy who could be set up for another down week. He's had a couple of them this season, not many, but this could be his 3rd one of the season. So I'm okay putting Jalen Hurts on the bench. In a league, I'm actually sitting Jalen Hurts for Tua, who I mentioned just before this. All right, so the next guy on my list is Cam Newton. He is back for the Carolina Panthers, and he gets to match up against his old coach, Ron Rivera, and the Washington football team, which has been the worst team in the NFL, the best team in the NFL for you to play your quarterbacks against. They are the worst against fantasy quarterbacks, letting up the most points per game. And listen, they lost Chase Young for the season with a torn ACL, which is devastating. We hope Chase Young comes back healthy. But losing Chase Young with the already weak secondary, Cam Newton should have himself a day against his former coach and his first full game back as a starter for the Carolina Panthers. I think he's going to be able to pass easily on this team, but more importantly, he's going to be able to do work on the ground. He might even vulture some touchdowns from CMC this week, just like he did last week. So I think Cam Newton is a start. I've got him as my quarterback 11 on the week, just behind Tua, actually. So I think Cam Newton's going to win some weeks for those who put him in. And not to look too far ahead, but his next couple weeks are looking really good. I think he's got 2 or 3 weeks, then he's got a bye, then he's got another really good matchup. So Cam Newton is a guy who you could stream this week, but you could also play him for the next couple weeks if you've got tough matchups for streamable quarterbacks on your line or in your lineup for the next couple. All right. The final quarterback I got to talk about is Baker Mayfield, the game manager who people want to believe in, but really just shouldn't be. Baker Mayfield gets the Detroit Lions, who look like a great matchup on paper, but Nick Chubb's going to be back. And I think this is just going to be a game where they just run it down the throats of the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions defense has been absolutely atrocious. But Baker Mayfield is he's been inconsistent. He is a really solid game manager. for fantasy purposes, that doesn't help. He's not even that mobile of a quarterback, so that doesn't help for fantasy as well. I think he's going to be a guy who is maybe in the top 20 quarterbacks because of the matchup, maybe top 15 even, but he's not going to be a quarterback one this week. I think Nick Chubb, like I said, is going to dominate touches, and they can run the ball with basically any running back they want because of how good this O-line is. And I think they will do that against a Detroit Lions team that they should be able to handle fairly easily, especially now that they're playing Tim Boyle at quarterback. I don't think they're going to be able to going to be needing to throw the ball very much in week 11. All right, guys, thank you for hanging out. Drop questions below, or you can find me on Twitter at Marco_14P. And don't forget to enter the jersey giveaway. Send all your DMs to at 14P_fantasy. It's in the top corner over here if you guys need to see it on Twitter. All right, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time. Peace.
How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.